real question, though, albeit my problem, is, so let's say that you're a loan officer or a realtor, and you're just starting.
Mm-hmm.
You just paid the fee. What are the beginning steps?
When they start on as a loan officer and a realtor, and then kind of getting into AI.
Yeah, just trying to figure out
you
how
open
this,
your
how is this going
ChatGPT
to work
account. Like,
for
what's
me?
what's some of the steps? And I'll throw in some of the things. But how do you kind of get started if you're that novice and you don't have someone that's teaching you or a class?
Yeah. Okay. So this is what I did, because nobody taught me, is I just started using it and just started asking it questions, and then it will always give you an output. So I actually heard somebody say this the other day. It was a realtor conference where they had an AI expert come out, and she said that prompting is dead. And I'm like, what? Prompting is not dead. So you just learn to prompt. That is probably the first step. And prompting is just literally telling ChatGPT who it is, giving it the context and what you expect it to do for you and how you'd like to see that. Those are pretty much the 4 steps in the framework of a prompt. But even if you didn't put all of those things in it, just asking a question is technically a prompt.
So you're saying these prompts, tell it who it is. So what did you tell the system they are?
So for example, if I have a law question, I'm going to tell ChatGPT, you are a real estate law attorney, and I need help understanding this contract term. And so it narrows it down. So it's an LLM, which means it's a large language model, right? It can tap into like literally any reference ever. So if you narrow it down to telling it who it is, it could simplify itself and go, okay, I'm a real estate lawyer. We're going to think about real estate law right now. And it's going to tap into those sources.
So by prompt, you mean you're giving it context.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitive context. And I went to your class on that, and that's helped me so much, where you identify the person you are, where you're going, what you want the outcome to look like. I mean, when you do a prompt so structured, you get such a better result.
Yeah.
And you helped me with that. So thank you.
So if I'm wanting to write a report, let's say that I'm a manager in a mortgage company and I want to write a report, I'm going to say, you are my accountant.
Yeah.
And I have and so you're going to just say, this is what I want.
I would even tell it, tell it who you are. So
Okay.
it can go into the context of, okay, we're looking at a mortgage manager of an office, right? So it narrows that part down. And then say, you are an accountant that specializes in whatever type of accounting you're looking at. It could be bookkeeping. It could be tax law. You could be talking about tax exemption. So kind of like start to fine tune a little bit of where you want to go with that. And if you don't know, tell it, I'm not really sure what I need. I need you to help me narrow it down. And please ask me questions to help me get more clear on my answers or clear on what I'm looking to do. That's kind of reverse engineering it.
So this opens up a lot of questions or a lot of thought. If I'm just a consumer, I self-employed, and I say, I'm self-employed, I run a pool business. Tell me what kind of write-offs, or you could say that kind of stuff. You're my tax accountant.
Yep.
You're my
Exactly.
CPA.
Yep.
What should I be doing to X?
Yep. Literally, you could
Wow.
have your board of directors. You could, I actually built in my ChatGPT, my board of directors, people who I want to consult on my business. So I put a lot of influencers in there that are insurance influencers and also marketing influencers. Like I have Gary Vee is on my board of directors. I have Alex Hormozy is my board of directors. Cody Sanchez, she's the contrarian on, small businesses and, where people are, baby boomers are starting to retire out and where all these businesses going to go. You could buy it, right? So I'm like, she's on my board of directors. So
These are real people.
These are real people. But I asked ChatGPT to act as if they were them because they're popular and more famous enough. And they have so much YouTube content that ChatGPT could actually knows who they are and knows how they teach and what they teach on and their methods and how they do things. And I want them to help me influence my business. So it's called a My GPT. It's I think you have to have it under the paid version, which is, by the way, it's only $20 to have the ChatGPT Plus. It's
That's
like cheaper than
$20
going to
you'll ever
McDonald's.
spend.
Yeah, agree.
Literally the best. And you could create these My GPTs, and you can ask ChatGPT to help you create the prompting that goes on the back end of it. And this is getting a little bit more advanced, and I do teach a class on this too. But you tell ChatGPT who it is one time, and you put that in a GPT, and it always acts as that. So when I was building my board of directors, I had ChatGPT help me understand each one of these people and who do I want on my board of directors, and we worked it all out. It took me about an hour to do all this. And we really just kind of fine-tune it as the top 10 people that I think can influence my business the most. And I put them and their profiles on this GPT. So anytime now that I have a problem in my business, or I need some sort of solution or understand like how I'm going to do something, I go into that GPT and consult my board of directors. And I ask the question. I don't have to do a whole bunch of major prompting anymore because that's already all done on the back end. I could just start asking the questions.
So you just go in and say, board of directors, what do I do about this? Mm-hmm. And it's going to get responses from those 10 different individuals.
Yep. How each one of them would have handled it and how they would deal with it. Yeah.
Now you see why my conversation's like, Buzz, we got to get you going on this, man.
Yep.